All right, well, welcome everybody to Brewing Efficiency, how Inventory AI is transforming Starbucks. My name is David Greshler. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Nomad Go, and I'm very happy to introduce to you Kevin Summers, who's the strategy manager of Inventory AI at Starbucks.
Thanks, David. Happy to be here and excited to share how we're transforming inventory at Starbucks across 11,000 stores in US and Canada.
So if you haven't heard the news, and there was a lot of news last week about it, Starbucks announced that they have deployed Inventory AI to over 11,000 stores in North America, corporate-owned coffee houses, right? So you're thinking, wow, usually I hear about projects, AI projects that are, 3 stores, 20 stores, 50 stores, 11,000 stores in North America? How did you do it? What were the problems you were trying to solve in the first place? What kind of results are you seeing? That's what we're going to cover today. So we're going to start by walking through just a relatively short presentation to kind of make sure we land all those questions you might have. And then we're going to open it up for Q&A so that you can ask your questions. And so we're going to start with a video that Starbucks put out last week that really explains sort of from their perspective the problem as well as the solution.
In the past, partners were manually counting product that we had on any given day.
It was very paper and pencil. You would print up your inventory sheets, write everything down on each shelf, then you would enter into the system. I would say up until very recently, the counts could be done in about an hour.
Now it's 10 to 15 minutes.
It makes things a lot quicker and more efficient, and it's accurate.
To make sure when a customer comes into one of our coffee houses that we have whatever that they want to purchase that day.
How automated counting works in my store today is partners would log into the counting app
And they would pull up the count that they're actually completing that day. Prior to that, they would make sure everything in the metro and the fridge is organized according to guidance so that our counts are accurate. And then they simply would scan each metro and count.
Automated counting has made it easier to be a partner and has brought it back to the company that I started with, where I had the ability to be on the floor, to be present, focused on my craft, focused on my connections, and focused on my customers.
Partners are excited about technology. They are appreciating the time that's given back to them so that they can truly move towards the customer and create a great customer experience, which they love to do.
So what is the problem we're trying to solve here, right? I like to say you didn't know you had an inventory problem until you think about inventory and then you realize you really have a problem. I mean, inventory is mission critical. In any of your stores, if you don't have inventory, what do you have? You have nothing, right? You can't give your customers product. And so inventory is essential, obviously. It's stating the obvious. But beyond that, the real question is, how do you ensure that the right inventory is in your store at the right time? And the only way people have done this up to now is by manually counting. Literally, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then write it down on a piece of paper as you saw in that video, or maybe type it into some app you've got. But it's manual, and as a result, it takes a long time. And I think all of you know, especially in food service, it either happens super early in the morning or really late at night when you're already worked all day and now you've got to count. So this slowness, this potential for inaccuracy really means that at best, it's 80% accurate. And if you think about what that means, if you are only 80% accurate, that means that you're placing orders that are either too much, overstock, which leads to food waste, right? Or too little, which means that when you go in and a customer comes in, they say, I want this certain kind of food, and you're like, oh, I'm sorry, we're out of that bacon or this or that. You've got a customer who's walked away and hasn't given you their 10, 12, whatever dollars it is, and they're unhappy. and they're going to your competitor. So understock, overstock is really the issue. And in many ways, part of that problem is not just the inaccuracy, but the fact that it's not done very frequently. Frequency, right? Richer data more often is the key to really giving you that ability so that that bacon isn't out. So those are sort of the key issues, this infrequency, time consuming, and inaccuracy that really are at the heart of the inventory problem. Now, Kevin, maybe you can tell us exactly how
Frame
that
it up from a
applies
Starbucks
to
perspective.
Yeah.
Yes. So at Starbucks, I mean, we believe in more than just coffee. We design coffee houses that are kind of warm and welcoming places that allow people to connect over their favorite handcrafted beverage. So we're an innovative company, but inventory counts was just one of those things that we did very manually. And inventory counts is just one of those time-consuming tasks, like David said, that is not a lot of fun, takes a lot of time, and as a result, we didn't do it very frequently. And that didn't allow us to have the inventory visibility needed at the store level to make informed decisions. So we set out to kind of transform coffee house strategies and really reimagine back-of-house operations and really unlock that inventory visibility. And that's when I met David.
Great.
Yeah.
And so let me tell you about how Nomad Go, we invented inventory AI. Let me tell you a little bit about what that is, and then we can start talking about results. So as I said before, right? How do people count inventory in your stores? Most likely manually. They might use a barcode and scan a label, but that just says what it is. It doesn't do the count, right? With Nomad Go, as you can see on this video, you literally just use an iPad or an iPhone and you scan. And in real time, it not only recognizes, it not only counts, but it gives you feedback in terms of what it is and how much of that item there is. So you can see that on the video if you watch. You see how she's just scrolling along and it's seeing the items, it's showing it, and it's counting, all in real time. Now, what's happening there? That's the AI working. And one of the really important things about this is that it's on-device AI. That means it's running on that device. It's not sending pictures to the cloud. It's really not doing any of that. All the hard work is basically running on that device in real time. Now, what does that mean? Well, it means that, first of all, you can know, and as a user, you can see what's going on and know, okay, this got counted, right? And then move on, right? So the second thing is it creates this active reality world where now as you look, you see what got counted. So if something got missed, you can go back to it. It allows you to kind of ensure in real time, not only that the job got done, but also to validate it. Because it's, again, on-device AI, you have the ability to, if you see a count that's off by one, or it said it's something, but it's actually something else, you can make that change. We call that user in the loop. And that's part of this ability to make sure that the data that's sent up is highly accurate, because that's, at the end of the day, what people care about. So all you need is an iPad or an iPhone, runs on device, so very low network requirement, right? And most importantly, because we all know each store is a snowflake, right? You're leasing space, you store in different areas. You can go anywhere with this. You can go into a refrigerator. You can walk-in fridge. You can go to a Metro shelf. You can do it on make lines, right? You can get into that little corner area where you're jamming something, right? Some kind of inventory. So it lets you go anywhere, right? How does that work at Starbucks?
I think the main takeaway here is how fast it really is. We've been able to take a time-consuming process and make it a very fast and efficient one with Nomad Go's Inventory AI. The other great piece is we've heard a lot of great feedback from our store partners about how they really like doing inventory counts now. It's fun, it's cool technology, it's almost like a game. So as a result of that, we've been able to really increase the frequency of our counts significantly, 8 times more. And that has allowed us to do more counts, get better inventory visibility. And that translates to a better partner experience. We were replacing an activity that maybe they didn't like to do before with a fun one, but also a better customer experience with the supply chain and better inventory visibility at the store level. The other kind of great thing about this is store partners aren't in the back of house doing these tasks. They can be in the front of house more and connecting with the customer. And then like David said, you can imagine we have tons of different store formats, different storage configurations, all of those things. This can be set up and configured for all of the unique spaces that we have across our 11,000 stores and can work quickly and fast in all those type of scenarios.
Great. And you can see on the slides, right? These are the issues that really matter. And this isn't just something to really help do things faster, but it actually impacts, all the way down to your financials, right? This has a real impact. So a couple things I think we've noted. One is, as Kevin pointed out, it's kind of like a game, right? And so we've noticed that, again, with 11,000 partners using it, you'll see that when they first do it, it takes them maybe on average, again, it's different size, different stores, but on average about 15 minutes. And then after about 3 to 5 scans, they get down to 10 minutes. And that's where it seems to level off. So it's a very quick learning curve to get this, right? I think that's one of the observations we've made.
Yep. And then when you hit complete, you get confetti. Partners love the animation associated with that as well. So again, we've been able to increase the speed to sub 10 minutes, increase the frequency by 8 times. That has allowed us for the supply visibility that we're seeking from the beginning. But I think the most powerful takeaway of all of this is just how partners have embraced the technology. They feel empowered and not replaced, which has been a big part of our kind of change management journey to be successful in implementing such a kind of AI-driven project at scale.
Thank you all. Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you.
Yeah. See you at the booth.